Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another compilation video here on the channel. This is the fourth time that I'm recording this intro because my OBS decided to switch over to one of the stream screens when I was recording the first couple times, and I didn't realize till I went to editing. These, as you know, are the recap videos. They're essentially just like the compilation of a lot of my videos that I've been doing lately. Normally it's after a batch of 5 or 6 or 4, and normally I either talk about them in editor notes or it's just like a rewatch for those that haven't necessarily been introduced to this channel yet, and it's a good introductory piece. But yeah, I don't know, I've enjoyed making these last couple videos and what's been going on in my IRL situation during these. And yeah, if you guys haven't subscribed yet, it's free. It's down there. It's a red button. I know you've probably heard this from almost every other person who has a channel here on this platform, but it's free. Feel free to click it if you enjoy my videos, and for you that already have, thank you, I appreciate it. We are slowly gaining a group here for people to kind of like hang out and find ways to build all these fun things that a lot of us see in Java but can't really do or haven't seen videos for Bedrock yet, and this is kind of like what this channel is mainly for, plus just some like random tidbits that I've been doing in my own survival servers. But yeah guys, I hope you like this videos and the channel and where we're heading. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video in the Minecrafter's Guide to Minecrafting series. This one's going to be a rotatable storage system, and it's going to be with barrels instead of shulker boxes because I'm still working on that design, which will actually be the next video, will be a rotatable shulker box design. But this one is a rotatable barrel design. Now, as per usual, the list of ingredients, or not ingredients, the list of materials will be right over here. And then these essentially are the visual layout of what you're going to need for this build. But yeah, let's get into it guys. Okay, so guys, this is going to be a 2-circuit, or it's like a 2-part circuit system. For the first one, you're going to want to find your center, and then go back 3 blocks if you have a dome like I do, and then go over to your left 1. Normal piston right here, this will be your first piston. Then go back over 2 blocks, and then your normal other piston will be right here, and then go ahead and build a L with your barrels facing this way or facing whichever way you're pushing it outwards. You can actually like flop this around at the top, and then by the L, you'll see what I mean. You're going to want to have like this L shape with barrels, and then put a temp block here, and barrel, break that, and then you're going to want to have one more temp block here, and then barrel. That will be all the barrels, and then you want to have a piston essentially right here, so that way it'll be pushing inwards, and then you're going to want to have one more piston right here. This would be like the up 1 block space from the empty block here on the top, and then break these temp blocks. And then start the redstone. You're going to want to go ahead and take your glass and then put it right here, and this will actually like be complex and I'll explain it later. But dust here, a 2-tick right here, dust here, another 2-tick right here, dust here, target block so that way the dust actually goes into it, torch, permanent block, not removable block, permanent block, and then torch. And then you're going to go ahead and have this circuit come off here. And then one of these is going to be a temp block. I'm warning you this now. And then build up here, and then break this bottom block, and then you're going to find the center of your circuit, or like center of your barrels here, and then break this block right here, and then place that block actually up there. And then come off of this right here, and then put a repeater, 2-tick, and then a 4-tick right here, dust, another 4-tick, and then more dust. And that'll be circuit number 1, or part 1, and then circuit part 2 will be put like placer blocks right here so that way you can stand on them, and you want to take your sticky piston, and it wants to fit in this perfect center space, and it actually needs to be facing upwards. and then break this, and then go around here, and this is why we actually need this. So you're going to want to have a torch here, and then a piston here, and then go ahead and put a block here, and then another torch, and then another torch, and then dust, and then here and here, and this is why you need the glass blocks, so that way you can link into there and also link into this side. And now I know you're probably thinking, why didn't you just link into the other side? Well, you actually need the other side for the other circuit. Okay, so go here, and then you're going to want to have a vortex right here, actually, and then here, and then you're going to want to go ahead and take a stone block, a redstone torch, and then another normal block. It doesn't really matter what block, it just has to be able to conduct redstone. And then put a normal block right there, and then dust, and then find your button, put it anywhere on this back circuit. It has to be on this back line. It can't be anywhere else. It has to be on this back line. This first one is just going to reset it, and then well, guys, and now just decorate it. Okay, this is what I decided to go for decorating for my half. It's a nether base thing that I decided to come up with. Down here you got the circuit, and this circuit's actually going to be on the back, unlike my other ones which underneath it. This just gets slapped onto the bottom back. And then, as you can see right here, this is full of diamond blocks, in case you're wondering, like, what if it breaks once the bale moves? No, it actually doesn't. So you do this, and it cycles through. This one doesn't have any. Again, this one doesn't have any. And now you're probably thinking, there's no diamond blocks. But you're forgetting we're cycling through all the barrels in the system, and there are your diamond blocks right there. So as you see, if you put something in it, it actually will stay in it and won't actually break, which is great because you can actually put a shulker box into there, and then it'll circle the shulker box, and you'll have even more storage. But yeah. Hey gang, welcome back to another video of the Minecrafter's Guide to Minecrafting series. This one is going to be a 1.21 design using the new copper bulb. Yes, this is still bedrock, and this is a experimental world, so you can have access to it, but it will not be 100% vanilla, but once 1.21 comes out, it will be. So this one is going to be a portal design that essentially turns itself off and turns itself back on as well with a press of a button using 1.21 copper bulb with some mechanics. Let's get into it. So to start this, essentially you're going to want to have this be your materials. Yes, this is a copper bulb, and yes, this is a 1.21 block, but this is still vanilla bedrock. However, it's in the experiments tab when you're creating a world, and it gives you access to that and a bunch of other fun stuff. If you guys ever want to try that out. But your supply list will be right here, and this will work, I'm pretty sure, once 1.21 comes out. But yeah, your supply list is right here, and then visual supplies right here, just like all my others videos in the series. But let's get into it. Okay, so what you need to do is, no matter the portal size, this has to be 3 wide on the bottom. And then you can essentially make this as tall as you want, but it has to be 3 wide. Or I know I've seen like a couple other people do like round portals. I don't necessarily know how they do that, but I don't know this would work for that one. I know this works for this, but you do need this to be 3 wide. Or I guess you could do 2 wide and just scrunch them together. But for my design, it needs to be 3 wide. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is do dispenser here, then fill in the whole back area. Come on. And then you're going to want to dig essentially down a pit that's going to be 2 blocks deep and 4 blocks long. And then also it's going to need to be, this will get wider as the time goes on, or the second part of the circuit. So for the first part of the circuit, each dispenser right here needs a torch. And then you're gonna go ahead and take your copper bulb and put one right here and one right here. And now, whichever one you want the flint to be on, that copper bulb needs to be on automatically. Mine's gonna be on the right. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna wanna go ahead and do that, and you're gonna power it, and this needs to be on. One of them always needs to be on, and one of them always needs to be off for this system to work. Okay, next up, you're gonna wanna put a comparator in front of both of them. And this is essentially what replaces the block swapper that I was using to turn a single pulse into a sustained pulse or a sustained circuit, and then building block right there, and then redstone dust across this, and then when this powers, it'll swap them, which means this one will then turn on and this one will turn off. Okay, now the only difference is when you put the powdered snow or the water or whatever you're using to break the portal in here, and it has a bucket, mine will have a bucket, I'm using powdered snow, you will essentially not be able to relight the portal because it will stay out there. So how we fix that system is we go in here, we do a comparator on the back side of the lamp. This has to be the flint and steel one. You go ahead and you take your circuit off of here, and you want to go ahead and break this, and you're going to want to go ahead and drop one block lower and break one block out this way. Okay, then you want to come down, and you're going to want to go ahead and go into a four-tick repeater right here, have redstone go into there, have a repeater go into right here, have a redstone dust go into the repeater, and then have a repeater go into here, and then a redstone dust going into this block that also will power this. And then what you're going to want to go ahead and do is you're going to want to cover this part up and take your flint and then take whatever substance you want to possibly use. You can use water, you can use powdered snow. I'm using powdered snow so that way I don't have to have a piston come up in front, but I don't like dealing with it and I want to keep carpets perfectly safe. Where did I put that flint steel? Flint steel, okay, breaker, portal lighter. Okay, now go ahead and take your dust and trail it off of here. And it could also like link off the backside, but this dust is just gonna be your power line. And then go ahead and take a futon or the pressure plate or whatever else you want to use. Put it down, press it once, and voila, there's the portal lighting. And then press it one more time, and voila, it turns off. And there's no more powdered snow in here to block it, so that way when you press it again, it reignites. Okay, so the last step is essentially decorate your portal. This one I went to go ahead and do like a modern type aesthetic, as you can see here by like the cube I built around it. This one did have a target block. You don't actually need the target block. This was part of the testing. This is my testing area. But as you can see, it essentially works the exact same. And then when this one's on, as you can tell, this is off then, and then this is powering this. And then what happens is when you press this button, this will turn off. And and then this will also turn off. This will also like pulse. But this will turn the sustained pulse into a single pulse, which will essentially make this flicker on again, and essentially then this will have an empty bucket, and it'll make it re-scoop the snow back up into the bucket, or re-scoop the water, or re-scoop the lava, or however you want to do that. But yeah, guys, so then you turn it off, you go through the portal, and then you essentially do whatever you need to do in the nether. So you need to go to a fortress, or you want to go find a soulstone valley, which I actually spawned in, or you want to go find a bastion, or you want to use it for like a nether hub. You can do that, then you come back through, you press the button, and it turns back off. And see, it actually resucks up the snow again. But yeah, guys, that's it for this video. Hey guys, welcome back to another video in the Minecrafter's Guide to Minecrafting series. This is another 1.21 episode. This one we will be diving into the auto crafter instead of the copper bowl, and for the bulk of this video you will see me describing how to build a bamboo farm, which you see behind me. Take bamboo and automatically turn it into bamboo planks. That'll also be coming out in 1.21, and then as you can see off to the right of the screen, that will be a explanation later about how the autocrafter works and what different tweaks you can use it for if you're not using it for this machine. As for the supply list, it is right here as always with the visuals right here, and I made sure I am not missing anything in the visuals this time like I did last time. That was kind of embarrassing. But yeah, this part right here will be part 1 of the machine behind me. Part 2 and part 3. Part 2 is what you're gonna need for the autocrafter for other machines. Okay guys, so to start this behemoth of a machine, or what I'm calling it, not really behemoth, but it's a little bit more complex than it has to be because I'm deciding to do a 2-wide bamboo farm instead of the 1-wide bamboo farm where you could just push it into the water stream instead of the items clipping on the other side of the farm. So to start, for the collection system, you're going to go ahead and have this stone or whatever building block you want. If you see stone, you see planks later in this video, they are building blocks that you can swap out. That block type doesn't exactly matter. So this is going to be 5 wide, and then on the other side it's going to be 4 wide, and I'll show you here why. So powered rail right here. This is actually going to become a hopper later, and then put a rail right here. This is going to be 4 long. Do another rail right here so that way this turns. Another rail right here so that way this turns. And this is only going to be a 3 regular rail wide and a powered rail right here. And then put a block right there and a stone block or a block right there. And then go ahead and put your torch right here, so that will power that, but it won't power this, so that way you're not necessarily causing as much lag. And then you can seal that part up, you don't actually need that part. And then blocks right here, and then this one does need to be broken. And then go ahead and put a comparator. The comparator needs to be placing into this purple streak with the amethyst streak in the front. And then a lectern. And take a book and quill. This just needs to be 15 pages, and if you go on bedrock, because it has page 15 and page 16, you go on the page 17, it'll stop working, but if you go back then it'll work again. So for this one you're going to want to go ahead and turn over to page 11/12, and what this does is this only allows it to sense things that can close, I'm pretty sure, like pistons or chests or trapdoors or anything in that nature, and that'll actually come in helpful later. So then go ahead and take your minecart with a hopper, and put it down, and then when the pistons like retract, that will fire off, or this will fire off, and essentially the minecart will then go push out, collect your thing, and come back. So that's part 1. Okay guys, so for part 2 of this design, what you're going to want to go ahead and do is take a stone or your building block, put it right here. As you can see in my hotbar, I've swapped out the blocks for the next section. This is the section with the autocrafter, and again this will not be viable till 1.21, but this will be available to you now. So you're going to want to go ahead and break your minecart, break the rail, break this, put your hopper right there, and then we're going to go ahead and put your rail back, and take your hopper or your hopper minecart, put it back right there where it belongs. Take this, break this block right here, take your crafter and then go ahead and put it right here, and then you're going to take a second crafter and put it up like this. Now your second crafter is going to want to have that slot, that slot, that slot, that slot, that slot, and that slot selected. So only will leave one slot unselected for this one. This one, everything needs to be open. So what you're going to do is take your comparators, put one right here, put one right here, put one right here, and this one needs to be in subtraction mode, so this front light needs to be on. And then take a piece of redstone dust and link it into that. And then afterwards, you're going to go ahead and go in down here and put a redstone dust right here. This will link to that. And then break down even lower. Take your repeater, put that one right there, and then go ahead and dig out like this. Redstone dust, redstone dust. Take your lamp, put it right there. Take your observer, put it like so. Now this needs to have a dot facing upwards like this. And this is why you can't have this block here, or else whenever this fires off, this would interfere with this circuit. So put your dust right there, and then you're going to want to go ahead and have a dispenser right here, but that'll be in the later circuit that I'll show you. I can show you actually right now if I actually want. So, dropper or dispenser. I'm actually just going to do it. No, we're going to do a dropper. So, dropper or dispenser, whichever one you don't mind, or this could actually just can go into either a stick. You don't need the second one to dispense anything. You could put it over there, and I'll show you that circuit later. So, go ahead and put your dropper right there. You're going to go ahead and have a redstone dust come off like so, and do something like this and like this. So that way this still fires off for this. Now you can either fill this back in, or you can leave it. Just remember that one underneath the skull sensor needs to be empty. And there you have it. Part 2. Okay, so for part 3, what you're going to want to go ahead and do is take your dirt. As you can see, I swapped out my hotbar again for the next section, and put it here above the minecart track, like so, and then just place this over the minecart. Actually, you don't need to place it on the minecart, but your building blocks will go there. And then, as you can see, like that, and then go ahead and take your bamboo, plant it along here. Now, you can make this as long as you wanted, and that would also just extend the minecart track. Just make sure you have enough powered rails to do so, and that it curves at the end. And then you could actually put another bamboo farm right next to it. Just make sure the minecart track links back to that one spot eventually. Now go ahead and take your piston or dirt or whatever. This is going to be to your temporary block, and then this needs to be facing right here, right above your original area, and then put a observer on top of it. Wrong way. The face needs to be facing inwards to the bamboo, and expand this all the way along. And then take your building block. This one I'm going to use bamboo planks, and go ahead and place it along the back of the pistons, and then take your dust and put it on top of that building block, and then duplicate that to the other side. After you go ahead and you fill in this bottom part. This bottom part isn't actually necessary, but it's a building thing, and it will actually help with efficiency with this thing not clipping through the bottom edge when the side gets pushed out. So do that. Again, this one's temporary. Go ahead and do this, and then you want to have your observer line on top of it, observer line facing the bamboo again, have your bamboo planks covering the bottom and the back, and then redstone dust, and that's pretty much your entire circuit there, guys. Okay, so for the as promised in the intro, explaining how the auto crafter works a little bit more instead of plugging it into one of my contraption designs. What this does is, this essentially gives off like a certain tick pulse. I don't exactly remember how many it has off the top of my head. And then this one will go off none when it's actually in. It will add more ticks when you add more stuff into it, which is why you locked these options right here, or these slots, and these slots will actually give more redstone pulse. And then this is essentially taking this redstone signal and subtracting this out of it. And so when you go ahead and you take a full item, or like all your slots are full, This will have more redstone powering this, which will then come through, power this lamp, flash this on, power this on, because this is right next to us. This will power this once this turns back off, and this pulses again. But, so that's essentially how that works. If you just want one where you just want sticks, and you don't want to have to go through another autocrafter, you do need a second autocrafter, I will tell you that, except for it's just going to move over here, and this is what your circuit's going to look like instead of that one right there. It's just going to be a lot more compact, and you will need these slots still like this. Now, if you just want, I don't care what it crafts, I just want buttons, you don't need the second autocrafter. But, yeah guys, that's pretty much the system. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Minecrafter's Guide to Minecrafting series that I've been doing here on the channel. We are back with normal redstone videos, being a 3x3 redstone piston door, as you can see in front of me. And also, this is like the testing world that you've been seeing for all these recent videos. This will essentially be your materials list as usual. And let's get into it. So guys, to start this, you're going to put a block here, and the first part we're going to do is the double piston extender. Put your two pistons right here, and this will be the exact same double piston extender I've used in past videos, so if you want to go look back at those other videos. Now you're going to have your 3-tick piston right here. Go ahead and put a block right here. All the stone you will see needs to stay here. It's just a building block that I'm using because I'm in a flat world. Put your observer right there. Dot needs to be facing upwards. Put a stone piece right there. Put a glass block right there. Put a redstone dust right there and right there. Go ahead and take another piston, and you want to have it facing upwards. Go right there. Now, to do this, you're going to also go ahead and trail this off right here, and keep coming. Just going to explain in a second. Now, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to put a block right there, and put a block right there. And then have a block down here, and then have a block right here. Have a repeater right here, have a torch on this back end side, have redstone dust here and here, and then what this will do is this will help power this and that, and it will block the signal from this going into this, causing a loop issue. Now you're going to want to go ahead and take your vault doors, put it here and here, and you're going to temporarily activate this section. Because what this is going to allow you to do is tell you where your door is going to be, and then go ahead and fill in your pistons. So each side is going to need, well, each left and right side is going to need 3, like so, and then like so. Don't break that block. And then these will need to face inwards towards the door. Now you're also going to need one for the center, so you're going to put a top piston right here, facing downwards into the door. And then you're going to go ahead and break this, because you don't need that anymore. You're going to want to go ahead and take your target block, have one right here, put your torch, put a block, put redstone, dupe it on the other side, target block, torch, block, redstone, and then this will make sense later, but you're going to go ahead and put block there. This will just be for aesthetic, and then block right there. That can also just be a building block if you want to. Put a piece of redstone there, and there, and there. And then what you're going to go ahead and do is drape this block up here and power that like so. Now, for the next stage you're going to want to do is you want to have that power into here. As you can see over there, and that's supposed to be a repeater. and then go ahead and have a block right here. This block needs to be able to transfer redstone. Break that bottom one, put redstone dust right there, and go ahead and scale upwards. Now the reason I'm using target blocks in certain locations is because redstone will actually link into them. Thank God. I will show you why that's a target block here in a second. But now this is all linked together into one circuit. And then you're going to go ahead and go over here, drape this off, and then drape a piece of redstone into there. Take your lever, pop it onto there, and flick it. I attached it to the wrong one, didn't I? Yep. Okay, so this is why this piece of redstone actually, this is a target block. Flick it into there, and voila. Now for the last couple things, put a iron block right there, iron block right there. That's why those two iron blocks are right there. And then when you flick it closed, okay, for part two of this contraption, if you want the other door, that's fine, you can do that. You'll just see the double piston like pop out on the back side of the door. If you want a door that looks more like that has it on both sides, what you're going to want to go ahead and do is you'll see another materials list right here. This will just be an added materials list or add on to the previous materials list. What you're going to do is do another outline of your door material, and then you're going to go ahead and take your piston again, and you're going to take that circuit you have right there, and this is why the block is actually as high as it is, and you're going to pretty much duplicate it. Put you there, put you there, put you there, put redstone dust right there, and then come over here, basically do the exact same thing. And then you're going to go ahead and have another piston down here. Put that block back. And now this one's going to be a lot easier than the last one, because all you have to do for this one is bring this back up and drape it over like so. Actually, make sure that is a repeater so that way that doesn't cause the loop, and drape it back in. Oh yeah. And make sure this is again blocked, or else that will cause issues with that one. Again, put your block of iron right there, and then, of course, fill in your sides, like so. Fill in the top. And now you need to go ahead and put another top piston. And just drape it over from this one. And then go ahead and this is why we have these target blocks like this. Because then you can do this. Drape redstone dust in from there. Drape redstone dust in from there. Take your lever. Put it right there and flick it. And it should be fully open. Now just fill in the little cracks. And voila. Now for a final step, you don't actually have to do this. You can again decorate this however you want. If you don't already have this concealed in a wall, like I do, just circle the entire thing in whatever block you feel like. The other bits were actually for the actual redstone mechanics of the video. And what these are for is just to make, or this segment is for, is just to make it look nice. And there you have it. An exact replica of that one.